Right, let's go to comments. You wouldn't believe the problems that I've had this morning. That went wrong, this went wrong. Oh, it all went wrong. Comments. I had this video kind of in the bag before the things went wrong, but while the things have been going wrong, everything's changed. And I haven't a clue what I'm doing anymore. I was going to fire off these comments. So, PW, without rigorous cause and effect, is only now. Rocks can only bump, but the mind can hop. Okay, that was PW's comment, 2 lines. Ricardo's comment, 2 lines. I think everything contributes to the big picture. The rock has its role. And I don't think that's a joke. Maybe a minor one, but the play cannot go on unless it has actors in all roles. Now, what I was going to do in the initial video was to then go on to talk about things and then come back to these comments and say, look, people when asked questions can talk a load of crap that really can't be understood by anybody. They've been asked a question, both of these, Ricardo and PW, by me, and they're replying to me. Anybody reading them, actually including me, just thinks, what the fuck is that? Okay. And just in case you thought, well, I've read them badly, it isn't that I think these people are stupid or anything. It's what happens in an impossible subject, asked an impossible question, you come up with an impossible answer without rigorous cause and effect. Is only now. Rocks can only bump, but the mind can hop. PW. Ricardo, I think everything contributes to the big picture. The rock has its role, maybe a minor one, but the play cannot go on unless it has actors in all roles. Right? Because I'm doing these not for our future benefit to say, please don't write crap in comments. It's a bit because I don't think they're crap. I don't understand a word of it, but I'm not saying it's crap. But the reason I've read them out is because further up in the other things that I'm going to go to, and I'd gone through this all before, are Troll and Axion complaining, and that's complaining. They're not really complaining, they're just stating what they feel. That Tony, the girls, and Jim, etc. talk frustrating crap. Okay? And then what I'm saying, pointing to by noting PW's and Ricardo's comments, it's almost impossible not to talk complete, confusing, cretinous crap in this subject, when we're on this subject. And I think it's all just fine. The easy thing to do is to say, this is cretinous crap, I'm going to have nothing to do with it. That would be the sensible thing to do, and this is why most people have gone. Because they can't make head and a tail of it, they don't want to talk crap about it, because they feel embarrassed to talk crap. But for the way I think about this, PW and Ricardo there talking crap is absolutely what we're after. Okay, have I got away with that? Right, I've got to open these up again. Troll. And I'm going to read these because they might get me to talk about something else. Because Troll in his 2 comments is absolutely the poster child, isn't the new modern thing, isn't it? The poster child for what the English school go, use an example of that's how it was. So I might get to doing a quick explanation of, in fact, one of the things I ran out of battery power, and I think my problems have been so huge, absolutely huge, that I've got plenty of battery power now, so I might actually go on for a while. So Troll is the absolute poster child for the English school to go, that's an example of how it was for me. Should I read it? Yes, I think so, because it's Sunday, I've got plenty of battery power, I've got microphone power, I'm doing all right. I was listening to the Master Guru, Tony Parsons, Master Guru. Okay, fair enough. What threw me off about him was the talk about unconditional love. Now, I'd like to come round and talk about that. So that inevitably will take me quite a lot further to come back at that. Okay, remind me if I don't. Bizarre. He is like his disciple Jim, going on about what is this isn't stuff. Then all of a sudden he throws in this unconditional love crap. This is clearly a contradiction to his own message about this is this and never was. Sounds new agey. It does, and I might come to explain it. And does it sound like a contradiction? Obviously it does, because that's what you've said. But I might be able to explain it to show where it might not be a contradiction. The old Indian gurus don't talk about this. I thought they did, actually, but you're our resident expert on the old Indian gurus, so if you say they don't, or didn't. They give methods, techniques, yogic science. So much better with methods compared to empty words that mean nothing. No? And that is absolutely the difference between exactly what I said right at the beginning. Just to divide people, I said the more ego people would prefer the Eastern techniques and the less ego people the English school. And when I say ego, it's really just using a word that it may be not even useful, but it's something to say to make my point of the division between the two. And Troll, maybe in a joke, has reiterated that exact demarcation line between the people that want the methods, techniques and yogic sciences and the ones that can roll with the English school. Okay, so I think we're doing quite well. Axion, who I know is struggling with this. But it's interesting to note that he's struggling on with it, which is interesting in its own way. And I'm on my Discus thing, so I can't exactly see, but I imagine that this comment is in answer to Troll on this one, because I can't see the thread. I've got to go over to the website to see the thread, so I sometimes do that. But I'm on Discus this morning because I get all my comments in one run there. I noticed these contradictions too, so we can imagine that it's in reply to Troll. Easily, for fuck's sake, explained away by the Tony Parsons just doing its thing. how does one refute the explanation? And this, I think, is a good point for thinking people. If we're, it's a bit like central banking to say that borrowing money creates money. Borrowing creates money. And then you've got to know that the central bank backs the loan and does the accounting to what could be make the funds right. And in the bank, if it doesn't do the accounting with the central bank, its accounts are out. And when it's made the loan, it's short unless it does the thing with the money. So it's got to have the right accounting with the central bank, and to have the right accounting with the central bank, it's got to have the reserves with the central bank. So you look at it from the angle that we look at it from in the end, and a loan creates new money. But the way the accountants, economists and bankers and politicians look at it, the bank cannot make a loan unless it's got the money to make the loan. See what I mean? It's a two-angle thing, and it can be explained both ways for both people to be right, and one can't refute the other because the other will just always state it from their particular angle, and the person that wants to argue it to prove that they're right have got to refute completely the other angle, and you can't, because the other looking at the other angle is as rock solid as looking at from this angle. Okay. So the refuting one, it's and again we can looks like I might go on. How does one refute the explanation? How can you refute me talking about free will? Nobody's done it yet, and it's not just because I'm biased, because hopefully you know that I'm honest enough. If somebody comes up with something really good, I'll go, you're right. But nobody has. But it all seems still wrong, because if you look at it from one point of view, that I go to a T-junction, I'll either turn left or turn right. You say, I made a choice to turn left. And I say, well, you haven't actually. But it's the two things. I can't refute one, and you can't refute this one. It's very hard to get right underneath and have a really right answer on many things. It's all a point of view. You cannot refute so many things, especially... Okay, but we're just stressing that these English school people are unrefutable. They have got, let's say they've got a menu of things that they can go to that will refute anything that's said out there. There's no way through it. There's no way through the barrier. There's always something that can be moved up and down, like the ping pong bat on one of those early computer games. There's always, you can to bounce off the incoming. You can always bounce it off. Yeah, with using the English school menu of defense. Frustrating, maybe, but it can be used as unrefutable thing. That being unrefutable does not make it right, truthful, 100% honest and the total facts. It just means it's unrefutable. And it's sodding frustrating. Oh yes, there is no one doing the refuting, or some such circularity of logic, whatever on that one. I mean, let's just say that that was an incoming and it was refuted out. Whatever quite that example was, yes. frustrating shit. Oh, yes, and there's no one to be frustrated. Quite right. Grumble, grumble. Quite right. Oh, it shows that since I've been messing about, another Axion comment come in. So, okay, he is enlightened. I am not. This is Troll again now. And he says, paraphrasing, this is what is. There is nothing, no path, no change. The enlightenment is here and now and is nothing. So the vibe, it's V for vibe, by the way, Troll, I get is, you pompous, fat, ass, English bastard. You, sir, is a pathetic, I know it's singular, but it's you, sir, are a pathetic arsehole. And if you really want to speak good English, it's arsehole, not asshole. But even the English are going over to asshole. We're getting the idea. Asshole that wants everyone to worship you and your furfing message about nothing. Frustration, much. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it could be, can be nothing but frustrating for the people that I've put over on the ego side. I don't find it in the slightest bit frustrating. And there might be one or two others of you that don't find it frustrating. I know exactly what you mean by frustrating. I feel as though there could be frustrations. But when the slider moves up and I go, okay, that was refuted. I'm not particularly frustrated. I have no great interest to get my pong through the pinger. But so this is, I mean, it's good, and it's good English. No, give me a break, give me something, an idea, a method, a practice, or whatever. But oh no, just on and on about this is it, this is what it is. Frustrating, exactly. Very frustrating. Okay. So Axion's come in with, it's all kind of amusing in a frustrating way. Yes. And I think this is probably why Axion will continue with this, because the feeling of frustration on the level of what it is quite amusing, because watching the game is just like watching a game, and it can be seen as watching a game, and you're just watching a video game, a tennis match, whatever. I mean, it is quite amusing to see the play of how it gets refuted each time. It's really quite amusing. So this is all new to me. This, I've just dropped down more. To my mind, we have this. Okay, if there is no free will, from my point of view, then there is no you, me, I, because there is sweet fuck all point. Right, yeah. I'll say on that one that there is no free will because there's no one to have it. There's no I in the head. Call it rocks, call it what explanation you like. But there is no... What did I call it the other week? That was quite mature. There's no management, overarching management place, point. There's no management, there's no overall manager. No, there is no overall manager. So, because that's what free will would be, for the overall manager to always be in charge and say, we'll take that decision and we'll refuse that one. It's the person with the angel and the devil. There is no person in the middle between the angel and the devil. If we want to say it that way, cut the head off and the angel and the devil just run apart and, fight each other. There's no overall manager. And that's what I mean by no free will. Because there's just fighting between the angel people and the devil people, and the green people and the blue people. They all just have a fight, and whoever wins grabs hold of the wheel and turns it left. This is a strange little sentence. Only way out is free will. So it doesn't make sense as a sentence, so we'll read on. Only way out is free will. Now, all of us here know that if, ! We have free will, it must exist in a very small and narrow place. Yeah, I can't even imagine what could be having free will in a rocks world. We all live in a rocks world. I can't imagine the minute rock or the grouping of rocks, because if there was a grouping of rocks that was the manager, the scientific rocks in white rock coats would have found that grouping. Okay. We have free will. It must exist in a very small and narrow place. The big and wide places most certainly have no room for free will. Our observation bear this out. The big and wide places most certainly. Sorry, Axin, I haven't got that. I don't get it now. So we'll move on and see if it explains itself. So we either have some form of immutable something, are some form of immutable something, have pixies in the system, or we are fuck all. Yeah, I mean, we got to that 6-7 years ago where, yeah, it's pixies. I won't use pixies because those are pixels now. For me, pixies, I use pixies instead of pixels. Yeah, there's magic. Pixies is fine. There are pixies in the system. In other words, magic. Something's magic. Or we are fuck all. We're just rocks in space, if we like. We're on the scientific one. We're just rocks that are on the Earth, which is moving at so many million miles an hour, I don't know, lots of miles an hour. We go pretty quickly around the sun and whatever, and the sun will probably be moving around other things. Rocks doing that. There's nothing in here that is in charge. There's just rocks doing things. Last line. The only non-dual fuckers that I will completely listen to are those that say nothing. The only non-dual fuckers that I will completely listen to are those that say nothing. Okay, I think that Axion kind of signing off on the saying, I've kind of come to the end of my tether as well on these enlightened English school, any school, Eastern school, whatever, shut the fuck up school, because if they are saying something, they're not what they say they are. Or let's take it straight out of the mouths of the English school, where they often start the talk with, whatever I say here now is A, not right, it's illogical, it's stupid, it's not describing what I want to describe, it can only confuse you, it can always be wrong, whatever I say is wrong. Okay, let's start there now. We've moved on to another thing, because that's what a number of them do say at the start of each talk. Whatever I'm going to say is useless, wrong, futile. Yeah. Ooh, 25 minutes and the camera shuts off. It shuts off in 4 minutes, doesn't it? Because this is only a 29-minute camera. So what I'll do, I'll shut down and shut down, save those, and reopen and go straight into the follow-up to this with another cup of tea. Yeah, so I'll say goodbye now.